live. Welcome to West Coast Draft Podcast, where at least in the next week or so, we are the West Coast Free Agency Podcast. Relevant. Perhaps, maybe, I don't know. We might have a mock draft here, so here, there, we'll see. But welcome to the West Coast Free Agency Podcast.
The free agency spectacular.
Free agency spectacular. For some teams, it's been spectacular. Then there's other teams that have been sitting on their hands after having a great day one, not doing anything since then. I wonder who I could be referring to.
Or not doing anything at all.
That's true. At least we had one day of action in Southwest Ohio, but they're not coming off a Super Bowl win, and they didn't have a
true.
One of those teams had a ton of holes to fill, and they filled one of them and started to fill another, and have not done anything since. And all the good young talents off the board, so now it's scraping and clawing for what's left, and there's not a whole lot of inspiring options left. I'll just say that.
Talking to you Monday night versus talking to you now is a little change in tune. Unfortunately.
Yeah, Monday I was feeling good. Monday we were feeling good.
As you should.
Wednesday there's been a grand total of 0 moves since then. And of course there was the brief freak out this afternoon over Pac-Man saying that they were going to trade for Crosby, and Crosby has since declared officially that he will be a Raider this year, so that obviously nothing came of that.
All right, like honestly, it would be so funny if Crosby gets traded again now.
Yeah, at this point, right? What a mess that's all been. Anyways, we'll talk about that. We'll
get to it. We got to save that.
Yeah, I don't know what the Bengals plan is at this point. They're just. I mean, the problem is all the good young talent's gone now. Like, so we're signing like what we're gonna fix our linebacker room with Bobby Wagner in the big 2020.
That would be so hype. You'll get to have Bobby when he gets the all-time tackle record.
Cool. I don't know. I kind of wanted someone that was gonna help us win a Super Bowl and be competitive for multiple years, but.
That is totally fair.
Cool. We're gonna solve our D tackle issues. Hey, we could still bring DJ Reader back and not have a 3 tech. Because best option? We'll talk about the best options out there still remaining at each position when we get to it. Let's focus on the moves that have been made. How about that? That sounds positive. Some of the big ones here, and there's a lot of restructures and stuff in here that we're just going to skip straight over. But from Sunday, because we streamed last on Saturday, so we didn't get the Sean Ryan extension. He got a nice little payday in Green Bay. Justin Chenard, a lot of specialists here in this day. Troutman, obviously extensions because that's all they can do on Sunday. Not a super busy day on Sunday, though. Not a lot there that I'd say Ryan's probably the most considerable move.
Yeah.
Here. Nothing else really perks your ears, really. But that gets us to Monday morning when there were moves made. And moves were made. Until let's see, what was the first like real deal? Because most of these were things that got last minute done. Let's see,
Alec Pierce,
first real deal. Well, that's obviously an extension, technically, but
it was like the first big domino to fall.
Yeah, it was the first domino, right? Yeah, because everything else like. Rankins got extended. Monteric Brown, nice player in Jacksonville. He got a nice extension. Let's see. Who else? Ed Ingram. Ed Ingram getting that amount of money is kind of insane. I'm sorry. He's not good.
in the big 2026 too.
Dane Jackson, Taylor Rapp, couple of Buffalo DBs let go. They haven't added a DB either. Oh no, they are.
Big flicker. That. Big flicker. You saw that?
I did see that.
Yeah, let's hope we get through this.
Yeah, I think baby. Buffalo added D. Alford. I think that's the only player in the secondary they've added so far.
Thank God I saved my film cut-ups before the pod started.
Yeah, that's important. Ryan Kelly, if retirement became official. Darnell Mooney on the board now. Curtis Samuel on the board now. Yeah. So that's kind of the pre-free agency stuff. Everything from Pierce on is like real free agency. So let's get into that because that's more fun to talk about.
4-year, $114 million for Alec Pierce.
That's a lot of money, dog.
And he was one of my guys back in the day.
Alec Pierce is a nice player. He's been good in Indy, but $114 million, like
that's just peak playing. That's just peak paying. Elite money for good. Yeah. That's the trap.
Yep. That's a little ridiculous. That's what 30 or 20. I'm good at math, I swear.
You're a history teacher.
28-ish mil, roughly. A little over 28.25.
Almost
28.5 million. 28.5 million, almost 30 million, yeah, if we want to round. That's just insane. Man,
that's absurd.
That's for Alec Pierce, who's a nice player. But I don't know. You're going to see that in a few different places. It's like, oh, yeah, that's a nice player. Ooh, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for a player there. You're like, yeah, I like him.
I mean, I think part of that is with how much the cap went up this year, but still, you got to be careful when you get into paying players, that level of players, that kind of money.
Yeah. Elsewhere, Zacchaeus returned to Atlanta. Olmeda, Zacchaeus, Draymond Jones, one of your old buddies.
One of my old pals.
He got a nice payday in New England. 12.
He was a lot better this year. I'll give him that.
He was, especially once he got to Baltimore. Let's see.
Which is weird because it's the same system,
right?
And he's funny. Stunk last year.
Eric Stokes and Nate Hobbs have had reverse career trajectories where Stokes was a bust in Green Bay, signs in Vegas, has a nice year, and all of a sudden he's a $10 million per year player. Nate Hobbs was a nice player in Vegas, goes to Green Bay, gets cut after 1 year.
Yeah.
What is Green Bay doing to these DBs that Vegas is fixing them?
That's the only thing Vegas can do right, it feels like.
Yeah.
Speaking of Vegas.
They got good production out of Jack Jones.
They did. Speaking of Vegas, Pete had his first interview since he got fired today.
Oh, my goodness. How'd that go?
It was just typing up Gino.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Hey, good for you. Good for you, buddy.
Jet Gino. He's back.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah. The fifth deal on Monday was K9. I don't know if this is exactly right, but K9 to the Chiefs, which I think a lot of people saw coming. So
yeah, there was a lot of talk about that. That felt like it was coming. Definitely too much, more than I was willing to pay for him.
Yeah, just under 15 mil a year for I remember when paying running backs 15 mil a year was insane, and now it's like Kenneth Walker money.
Yeah, I think I love K9. Forever grateful. He was awesome in the playoffs, but I have a hard time forgetting how he played normally.
Right.
And he's just not worth that kind of money. Hey, shout out, get in the bag. Good for
That's right. Hey, respect, and
I'm curious to see how Kansas City uses him.
Yeah,
I think that's interesting because they love using the back out of the backfield in the passing game. Not a huge strength of his, so that's gonna be very interesting for me to see.
Yeah. Kate Otten, one of our old guys, back in Tampa, got a nice deal there, 3 years, $30 million. Rams get another former Chief DB, Jalen Watson, so just brought that entire corner room over.
They're like, we are not getting burned again by Jake Bobo.
Yeah, they definitely upgraded their secondary, or at least their cornerback room, that's for sure.
And their corners were awful.
Yeah. Another player that I like, but just the contract numbers are like, holy cow, Jalen Phillips. Like, I like Jalen. He's a good player. $30 million a year for Jalen Phillips. I don't know about that one.
Especially for a player who has longevity issues. Yeah, people forget his neck was really bad.
He was medically retired at one point in college. So, yeah. Good player. I ain't paying $30 million for.
Nope.
I ain't paying $30 million for good player. Just like it's almost Alec Pierce was just under $30 million. I'm not paying $30 million a year for a good player. But it does help shore up. And Carolina made a couple moves on their defense that I really liked, and
they did.
Michael Pittman traded to the Steelers to pair with DK. Those are two very different personalities.
Oh yeah. I saw a very funny meme. It's like the Steelers brought in they brought in Mike McCarthy because he's from Pittsburgh, and they bring in Michael Pittman. I think there's one other one too.
Reading the comments, I'm gonna ignore them. Yeah, they're just very, 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 very different personalities. I love the juxtaposition of Michael Pittman, who there's like a tweet right after he got traded, like every quarterback he's ever caught a pass from in his time in Indianapolis, and he quote tweeted with like, and I loved my time with every single one of them.
Well,
that's very class.
He's such a nice guy.
Yeah. So it was very funny. Let's see. Malik Willis. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
If he gets corrupted by that receiver room, we know something's real bad there.
They got the black mold growing. That's for sure. They got the black mold growing.
If it happens to him.
Yeah. Malik Willis kind of surprised a lot of people. Did not go to Arizona, went to Miami instead, which those were the two obvious fits, right? It's either follow your former assistant GM in the DC or your old head coach's brother. Like those were the options. And he chose the guy that knows a little bit closer in the assistant GM.
But if you gave me the choice between, although I did like Arizona, but man, like I feel like if you gave the average player the choice of Arizona or Miami, they'd pick Miami.
If that's the only thing they're considering, yeah.
If money's equal,
both of those teams are going to be in the whoever we're calling quarterback one next year sweepstakes.
Oh, absolutely.
Like they're both tanking. So, yeah, you're not probably hoping to be very competitive in that regard. So, I don't know. I guess if I think the familiarity helped, but man, Miami's roster just looks so bad right now. Not that Arizona's looks much better, but at least Arizona's
move on from so many guys.
At least in Arizona, there's some pieces that you still kind of like. In Miami, it's just you look at the cupboard and it's like, oh, Devin Achane and Jalen Waddle and.
They're going to get rid of every defender. You can't pay them anymore.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much it at this point. So, Miami's in a very tough spot for this year, but at least they got their quarterback for now. 3 years, $67.5 million for
basically the Darnold deal.
It's Malik Willis. You know what? I like Malik Willis. So.
Isn't it pretty close to the Darnold deal?
Didn't Darnold make 3 years $100 million?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. It's a good chunk lesser than that. But on that note, though, Darnold had multiple years of starting experience.
Oh, yeah.
Malik Willis has been a spot starter. And you know what? I will say, not in Tennessee, but in Green Bay, he looked good as a spot starter. And
He
every
did.
time he was called upon, he looked good. But
He learned the system.
he learned the system. That's right. Moving forward now, let's see who else we got.
Isaiah Likely.
Isaiah Likely, again, a move that I've been predicting ever since Harbaugh was officially the Giants coach. Isaiah Likely, the Giants. I think it's funny that I don't know. There's been a lot of things we can laugh about the Ravens over the past couple of days. But I think the funny thing, the Isaiah Likely getting basically the exact same contract that Mark Andrews got a few months ago is a little hilarious to me.
Eric DeCosta, you're on the hot seat right now, man.
Oh, 100%.
And we'll get to that later.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
But I think Coleman made a pretty interesting point of bringing up his recent draft history because it
does not look as good as those Ozzie Newsome drafts did. That's for sure.
No, especially recently.
Yeah,
because I remember for years where it's like we were always like, oh, of course the Ravens are going to do this because they always drafted well. And early on in DeCosta's term, he was doing that, but he's kind of strayed.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see. Osai leaving for the Jets. I'll miss you, buddy, but at the same time, sorry, I'm looking something over here. I'll miss you, buddy. You're a good player. Chase that bag. I was not going to pay you $11 million per year. Good player, but $11.5 million. I don't know about that one. But I wish him nothing but the best. Other ones here. Kingsley Enagbare, that was a name that I know a lot of people thought could excel in a bigger role. He only gets 1 year, $10 million from the Jets. All right.
Elite name.
That's right. Mitch Trubisky. 2-year deal to be Cam Ward's backup. Demario Davis going back to the Jets. It's funny. I feel like he's just bouncing back and forth between the Jets and the Saints. He had 1 year with the Browns too, I think. But I think for the most part, he's just bounced back and forth between the Jets and Saints. So that's kind of funny. Speaking of teams, now
consistent.
Yeah, that's true. He's got a New Orleans property and a New York property. He doesn't want to buy any other properties.
Splits time.
That's right. Speaking of goes back, Austin Hooper returning to Atlanta.
Yeah,
forgot
big throwback. Well, he was with the Patriots.
Yes, he was. That's true.
He was one of the guys that I was so just irritated of saying oh, the Seahawks might have trouble with the Patriots receivers. It's like Pop Douglas, Austin Hooper, Hunter Henry. Really, he was one of those guys. I did like Austin Hooper back in the day, though.
Do the Ravens and Raiders play this year? No, they don't.
Oh, that would have been fun.
Oh, they don't. I just, did the math in my head. They do not. Kenneth Gainwell.
Good deal right there.
Deal, yeah. Good player. Good third down back. Had a nice year in Pittsburgh. Go be Bucky's spell. Although they did end up tendering Tucker after all.
I know that was a bummer.
Tendering Bobo after all too. There's a few guys that
last minute tenders.
They weren't getting tendered, and then they did get tendered after all.
The Sean Tucker one was a bummer for me.
Yeah. Jordan Stout got a nice deal. Biggest punter contract ever, actually. Fun fact. For the Giants. Anzalone,
special teams coach, of course,
and of course, again, the Harbaugh connection. A whole lot of Ravens became Giants. Ardarius Washington, Isaiah Likely, Jordan Stout, Patrick Ricard.
I've been loving the Ricard Scatabo memes.
probably one more I'm forgetting. There's got to be another one I'm forgetting. We'll see it later. Anzalone leaving Detroit, going to Tampa. Nice move. Their linebacker room is rough, especially with Levante David gone now. So that's a good move to get him. Lock him in.
Sad of what Reggie Gilliam means for our boy Westy.
Yeah, unfortunately. Hey, maybe no, Seattle's got Oots.
How dare you? Hey, if Brady Russell leaves, I wouldn't mind bringing in
a couple smaller moves. Meek Robinson. I'm going to talk about Washington's free agency here in a minute, but I'm extremely jealous of it when you look at the names. It's like, this is the type of free agency Cincinnati needed to have.
Mm-hmm. If the Steelers cut Bruner, I'd kill to bring him in as a special teamer.
Kobe got a nice deal in Chicago.
Yeah, he
3
did.
years, $40 million.
Definitely much more than I would have paid him.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure.
Like, I'm very curious. I'm definitely gonna be watching how he does there. You know, to see the theory on like how does a player who did really well under Mike McDonald play without him.
We've seen that not work out so good in the past,
especially for safeties.
Especially for safeties, yeah. Let's see. Bellinger ended up getting a solid deal in Tennessee following.
I just love Dable paying
the
players who got him fired way too much money.
Oh, I'd say Sala too. Sala's getting guys from New York and San Francisco over to Tennessee. They're just like,
they traded for Solomon Thomas today.
They did. They did. It's like a 7th round pick. It's like whatever.
They did. They didn't. They didn't have to give up much. It's just funny.
It is funny. Yeah. James Pierre finally leaves Pittsburgh. Feels like he's been there forever.
Yeah.
Lions got their Ragnow replacement, Cade Mays, 3 years, $25 million. He was a good player in Carolina last year.
That's a pretty decent deal. Like, not especially compared to
another guy we're going to talk about. We can skip the Atlanta specialist. No offense to these guys. Although Nick Folk, good player, but Tyler Linderbaum, just smashing the center market, just annihilating it.
It's not even resetting it. This is an anomaly.
Yeah.
This is an insane deal, and Linderbaum is awesome.
Well, it is for now. What happens when Humphrey's due for an extension?
I don't think they're going to pay him that much. You know, it's pretty clear Vegas is quite desperate for a center.
That's true. They did actually, for a while, they did have to hit a cap floor. They weren't even at the cap floor for a while.
That too.
Or salary floor.
Cap floor. And the Shanahan tree, the Shanahan Kubiak, not so much the McVays, are incredibly neurotic about centers. Remember the first move Kyle made when he got to Atlanta?
I honestly do not remember. Oh, was that that old Alex Mack?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That like they're super neurotic about centers. That like in Kubiak's introductory presser, he was talking about centers.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so
they got the best one in the league.
In my opinion, the best. In my opinion, the best. Is that hail? Wow.
Here.
Humphrey's excellent. I think that Linderbaum is just superb. He's just excellent, man. I love his game.
Funny enough, with the amount of work that Vegas did on their roster, and then they end up creeping Crosby anyways, like they could be a sneaky playoff team this year.
No, they're not, Beau.
I don't know. I think Denver's due for a step back.
Their
I don't
defense,
know. It depends on Mendoza.
Their defense is really bad.
They paid a lot to fix it, though.
I mean, I'll believe it when I see it, right? And a first-year head coach.
Here's my true, but here's my logic, and it hinges on Mendoza.
It does.
If he's good, though, they've done a lot of work to fix their O-line. Got like you said, the best center in the league. The receiver room's still a little rough, but you got Genty and Bowers, and that's going to do a lot of help. They've paid a ton of money on defense, and they now get to keep Maxx Crosby. And if you look at the rest of their division, Mahomes is probably going to miss a good chunk of the year. That might take the Chiefs out. I think Broncos are due for a step back because they were lucky to be as good as they were this year. The Chargers are probably the one that I'm like, okay, they'll probably still be good.
Yeah. But they lost Minter.
They did lose Minter. So I don't know. I don't know if the AFC.
I see your argument. Personally, I think Mendoza is probably a year away because that's going to be a tough. That's definitely going to take a year in that system to get ready. I don't think he's going to start right away.
We'll bring Joe Flacco in, and then let him.
That system, going from what he did at both Cal as a true air raid system, and then what he did at Indiana, which is very RPO, shotgun. I think there's definitely going to be some learning he has to do. I think he's an excellent leader. The leadership stuff, he'll have that down. And it's perfect that he's going to Vegas. He's a freaking choir boy. I think so. The thing about Kubiak's offense, right? It's not going to be the innovative, cutting edge. Wow, how all this crazy stuff he's doing. We'll maybe have like one thing a game, but the thing about his offense is they run their stuff so well. They're very consistent. They teach it well. They run it well. They utilize the players well, and they utilize various personnel packages very well. And so I'm very excited to watch it, especially with Bowers and Meyer. I think that's going to be so much fun. It's like it's just going to be, smash mouth. They're going to run the outside zone really well. The passing concepts are going to work off of it. It's going to be very fun to watch. I'm curious what it's going to be like without as good of a defense to support it. Because part of the reason it worked so well is you could really wear teams out. But it's going to, and their O-line probably needs some work, and they'll probably definitely I think they're going to be that classic team that struggles early but really improves down the stretch. But I'm excited to watch it. I'm not ready to say that yet. I think their O-line, they have two really good players, but the other three I'm not sold on yet. And then their defense is definitely a work in progress. First year head coach is going to be tough too, but I'm very interested in them. I think they could win 7 games. I'm curious if they start Mendoza at the start of the season though.
We'll see. He'll start at some point.
Yeah, he'll definitely start at some point. I think it's just going to be such an adjustment for Mendoza from what he played in college to this system.
Mm-hmm.
He at least took some snaps under center, but they were all run plays. I don't think he ever threw it under center. All right, Tyler Algier. Probably one of the steals of free agency.
Yeah, a couple running backs off the board here. Yeah, Algier, though, only a little over $6 million per year. That's pretty crazy considering what a lot of people were projecting him to get.
I'm jealous of that one for sure.
Yeah. Wonder why he took that. I'm like, I feel like a contender probably would have given him more money than that, but I don't know.
We're not going to be a lead back for sure,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I'll have to pull this up. Vikings have signed Kyler Murray, but they accidentally dropped him between the couch cushions and lost him, so he's gone now. I saw a funny tweet. It was like Kyler Murray arrived for his physical at at the Vikings facility. Kevin O'Connell is present, and he's going to boost him up onto the training table.
I saw that one too. That was pretty great. Oh, the Kyler Short jokes are going to be awesome. For whenever that's all happening. Apparently, he's talking with like 5 teams on Zoom tomorrow. Is what they said.
Not surprising. He's a good quarterback.
I know. It's just funny. A quarterback of his caliber is not going to hit the market very often. So.
Oh man, the stitches in my mouth are finally loosening a little bit. They're starting to dissolve, and it's like kind of tickling me.
Yeah,
make me gag a little. Oh, it's annoying.
I hate that feeling. I know what you're talking about though. Speaking of running back deals, Etienne, 4 years, $52 million.
Ooh,
Nolans, a lot of money.
And the best part of this deal though?
What's that?
No void years.
Oh yeah,
so they're free.
They're free for now. Just wait. They'll add them. They'll add them later. They can always add a void.
They haven't done void years this cycle.
Oh really? Good for them. Yeah. They're learning. Good for them. That's awesome. 4 years, $52 million. He's a good player. Don't get me wrong, but again, it's like $13 million per year for Travis Etienne. Like there were times in the past few years where people thought he was getting benched in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And now he's coming off a really solid year. Don't get me wrong. That's why he gets this deal, and it shows he has that potential. And I mean, if he's going to go replace anybody, Alvin Kamara is probably about the best possible fit you could imagine. But still, I just saw this. So the Jets posted earlier today a picture of Geno Smith in Jets uniform from rookie sophomore year, and it was the caption was "Haters are going to say it's AI," but then someone quote tweet that made me laugh just now. If they were to wear their throwbacks that look like their jerseys from like the mid 2010s, like the white helmet and all that, if they were to wear that, would it be the first time a player has worn a throwback uniform that they literally wore when it was the primary uniform?
Tom Brady.
What do you mean?
I've been Tom Brady.
Tom Brady only ever wore one uniform in New England, one uniform in Tampa.
I was saying maybe he had some of the old uniform in New England. You're probably right. But yeah, no, people have been showing that with like LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron, yes. Okay, LeBron's probably done it. But LeBron's been around forever. Geno Smith got drafted 13 years ago. It is kind of funny that the Jets have a throwback that they wore in 2018, like as their primary uniform. We don't talk about that enough. Speaking of which, Titans' new uniforms come out tomorrow. That'll be fun. Moving on here. Oh, Wan'Dale Robinson, the best kept secret ever. No one knew this was happening, right?
That, in my opinion, I like Wan'Dale Robinson. In my opinion, this is the worst signing in free agency.
We can find a worse one. Now that I've got them all in front of me, I will find a worse one. I don't know. It's just the price for getting apparently it's just the price for getting a fine wide receiver nowadays. Alec Pierce is probably worse. Too. Alec Pierce is making like $44 million more than this.
That is true, but Alec Pierce is better.
Yeah, but he's better. But is he $11 million per year better than Wan'Dale Robinson? I don't think so.
I'd rather pay that money for Pierce than this money for Robinson.
I don't know, man. What were their numbers last year? Hold on. And I know stats aren't everything, right? But yeah. Wan'Dale Robinson.
Personally, it's just I don't know. I feel like you can find another Wan'Dale Robinson pretty easily.
I think you can find someone better than Alec Pierce pretty easily.
I don't know better than Pierce easily.
Is there? Here we go. Career Okay, they both came into the league in 2022, so we can do a full career comparison here. That everyone still load for me. Let's go. Come on. You know I'm a real person. Get out of here, Sports Reference. Here we go. That's what we're looking at. So the yards per reception, yes, very, very clearly favor Pierce. Adjusted value definitely favors Pierce. Total receptions, obviously, and okay. Like Pierce is better, but I don't know if I'm seeing like 11 million per year better. How about 11 million per year? That's the thing. Maybe what if I do only 2025? Can I do only 2025? Can, but not here. I'd have to go to compare the years they're coming off of, because I know Robinson's coming off his best year.
I don't know. We can move on. It's probably close, but yeah, more receiving yards. Yeah.
Pierce definitely still. Pierce blows them away in the yards per reception. So if you're hanging your hat on that, then yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But there's
regardless. How about this? But they both got way overpaid.
Yeah, I think we can agree on that. Mike Evans got a little over 14 a year in San Francisco.
In my opinion, this one's pretty funny. Just because it's like, how can the Niners get even older and more injury prone?
Yeah.
Let's sign Mike Evans coming off of his worst ever year.
Yeah, his first ever non-1,000-yard season.
Brilliant move, John Lynch.
I just looked at the list of Commanders acquisitions, and I'm like, that's the offseason the Bengals should have had. Nick Cross, Chikakonkwo, Calebon Chason, Leo Chanel, Adafe Owe, Tim Settle, and Meek Robinson.
That's good.
They cooked. Okay, I need to let that go, though. Some teams have competent ownership. Yeah, that is pretty funny. Yeah, I love the meme of the
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Mike Evans hamstring once he comes in contact with the electrical substation.
Falling off the bone.
Falling right off the bone. That's right. Let's see. Kairos Tonga got a nice deal in Kansas City after he had a nice year.
He did.
Jalen Naylor, I didn't think he'd get paid like this, but he got a good deal in Vegas. He's a good player too. Like he had a nice little breakout in Minnesota. I didn't think he'd get $12 million a year, but he had a nice little breakout.
And it seems like Kubiak chose him over Shaheed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just interesting. Let's see.
Because the Rashid Shaheed deal kind of happened after this.
Right. Man, of all those 2022 wide receivers, you got Alec Pierce making $28 million. You got Jahan Dotson making $7 million.
My priors are very vindicated.
Yeah. Yeah. It worked out. It worked out for you. Don't MHJ my J Jettas? Oh, for Kyler, yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about Kyler in a second. I think we'll get to him in a little bit. His official release. Zion Johnson got paid in Cleveland, and like he's good, but I'm not giving him over $15 million per year.
They paid him a lot of money. They're really desperate. It's kind of crazy how they went from such good O-line to just devoid of talent.
Yeah. Franklin Myers got a nice deal in Tennessee. I wanted Franklin Myers, $21 million. The Bengals were never going to match that. So, oh well. But surely they did add a 3-tech still, right?
Yeah, they had to. That was one of their biggest needs. I'm telling you, buddy, start learning Caleb Banks. Oh, he's not a 3-tech.
Not a 10. Please not a 10. I can't do that again. I'd rather have Peter Woods, because at least he's a 3-tech.
That's fair.
I don't want either of them a 10, though. If you're going to do that, trade down, please. They never trade down either, though. So Arden Key is on his AFC South tour. He's now played for Tennessee and Jacksonville, and now Indy. Only team left is the good old Houston Texans. You almost made it, dude. You're almost there. Edmonds got a pretty big deal, honestly, in New York. I wouldn't have paid him $12 million a year after how he played in Chicago. But Kohler got a nice deal in LA. I like Charlie Kohler. He underrated, was kind of forced into a tight end 3 role, but whenever he was called on, he produced. Arden Key's the new Danico Autry. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Autry
that is true.
On that tour. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. Cordell Flott. Oh, man. I love, like, before free agency, there's, like, all these names we talk about as, like, underrated names that, you know, could be fun bargain buys, and then you look at it and it's like,
paid.
Cordell Flott, $15 million per year. Okay, never mind. Not a bargain. The one of the 2 outside free agents, Cincinnati. I'll put on the hat. I might as well put it on now. Because I like the guys they did add. The 2 they added. Brian Cook, I was a big fan. He was my top safety in the free agent class, and Lord knows we needed safety help. I saw someone, I can't remember who it was off the top of my head, but going from Geno Stone to Brian Cook from just a pure tackling standpoint might be the biggest upgrade among any free agent acquisition in the entire that you'll see in this cycle with one specific skill set. I like Brian Cook a lot. He's exactly what we needed. He's a Cincinnati guy. I think we talked about this on the Saturday pod, but even when he was in Kansas City, he had Cincinnati skyline as his, like, the actual skyline, not the chili, the actual Cincinnati skyline as his Twitter header. So he was always coming home. He knew it.
There's nothing better than having a player that loves playing for your city.
So he's gonna come. He made plenty of plays against the Bengals in all those games with the Chiefs too. So yeah, excited he's on our side now. I think this one's going to work out a little bit better than Geno Stone one did. I just got a good feeling about that. He's just a better all-around player. Can actually tackle, but also still a good cover safety. Can play all over the field. Love Brian Cook. This was a signing that fired me up. This is a signing that made me start feeling pretty good about our free agency on Monday. I think this was still Monday morning, if not like early Monday afternoon, like around noon.
Yeah, it was pretty early.
Yeah, so I felt pretty good in this moment. A couple other deals. Alontae Taylor, who is a good player. He's got his flaws, though. Struggled with tackling. He's gotten better in that area, but he's seriously struggled with tackling early on. I would not have given him over $19 million a year. That's a little much. But Tennessee had the money to spend, so completely remade their secondary overnight. J.K. Dobbins back to Denver, and then the Seahawks finally made a move. How about you talk about that one?
Yeah, bringing back Josh Jobe at $8 million a year is incredible value. Josh Jobe is one of Mike's favorites. He loves him. You know, really way more consistent, not a full head case. Not as physically talented as Reekman, of course, but very solid corner. Plays really well in the system. He punched Stephon Diggs in the Super Bowl. No, just very consistent, solid cover corner. 8 million years. I'll take that any day of the week. Definitely earned it. He's undrafted free agent. You always love when those guys get paid. But yeah, no, that was really important for me to get that one done for sure. Because it would have been real bad if we lost Joe and Portland.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Thomas.
See, I would have even done this 1 year, $3 million for Cam Thomas. Like he had a nice year in Cleveland last year, but don't get me wrong, I love Mafe, but they need numbers. They need bodies out there. I'm sorry, I don't want to roll out. Well, we'll talk about the D line, the linebacker room in a second, but oh well. Called it. Mariota back to Washington. That was the easiest call ever. Larry Borum signed for right tackle in Detroit. Supposedly this is going to move Penne over to the left side, so it's finally happening. Jalen Thompson leaving Arizona, got a nice deal in Dallas. He's a good player at only 11 mil too. Not a bad get for Cowboys. Owe got paid. I guess we got a couple different edge rushers here that got paid.
This is when the run on edge rushers started happening.
Yeah. My goodness, huge deal for Owe, $25 million a year, and then obviously Mafe getting 20, pretty much right after. I guess we'll start. We'll start with Owe. Mafe is someone we can both chime in on, I guess.
Yeah.
Owe. Oh man, he did not have good production in Baltimore. He just didn't.
No.
It's LA, has fantastic production. If you took the 8 games he played in LA, Case Keenum re-signed in Chicago already. He is still. I mean, he's still out here, as in like he's still kicking. He's still playing though. That's for sure. I mean, that's kind of crazy on its own. I would figure he'd retire by now, but 2-year deal, so he'll be playing into his 40s here pretty soon because he was old coming out.
That's right.
Anyway, back on to Owe though. If you take the still play. Okay, that's what I thought you meant. 8 years, or 8 years, 8 games that Owe played in LA, and expanded that across his entire career. I think this contract's very deserving, but you're ignoring a lot of poor production in Baltimore for 4.5 years when you're giving it this deal.
That I find it very hard to trust his production that he had in giving him a deal like that. I think that is, shows how desperate teams are for edge rush.
Mm-hmm. And then we get to Mafe. I don't know if you want to start off.
You can start.
Well, I mean,
point counterpoint.
You've watched him a little bit more than me, obviously.
Okay, sure. I can get. Whatever you want. The floor is yours. He's yours now. The floor is yours.
He is mine now. It takes. I hope it takes us off out of the Celtic Folk sweepstakes because now we've got enough athletic edge rushers now. Thank you. We don't need another one. Let's get a guy with production. But I mean, I think you can make the argument that again, you're looking at another guy, ultra athletic, not a ton of production, was somewhat buried on Seattle's depth chart, especially this past season, which definitely doesn't help. But
he had production last year.
Yeah, and from like a pressure standpoint and a win rate standpoint, his production was still there. Like you're not looking at the Shamar Stewart win rate that's like you got to look at get a microscope to find. He had a pretty solid win rate. He was just kind of buried on the depth chart. So I think you're banking on the upside here. I do also think, especially if you look at, and they're very different players, so I don't necessarily want to say it's 1-to-1. But if you look at Hendrickson, I know I told you this the other night. Hendrickson's numbers in New Orleans through his first 4 seasons were almost identical to Mafe's numbers in Seattle for his first 4 years. So I'm totally fine making this deal. I think this was, again, it's the last deal Cincinnati made. in this moment, you're like, okay, they're taking the steps to build a defense that I think you can feel good about for a few years. And then they were supposedly in the Devin Lloyd sweepstakes a little bit later in that day too, and everything was looking grand. And then still waiting for move number 3. Still waiting for move number 3. And now we aren't going to get a linebacker that we can feel good about plugging the hole for a few years, because the best linebacker on the market's Bobby Wagner. I guess Dre Greenlaw if his medicals check out, but will they? They're not going to.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I would prefer Dre Greenlaw to Bobby Wagner if the medicals clear. But
how dare you?
I want long term.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
I know. I would prefer a guy that I can trust like Joe. So if Dre Greenlaw, if you bring him into the facility and his physical checks out, I would think Dre Greenlaw I could still get someone excited by. But we'll see. I don't even know if they're interested in bringing in another linebacker at this point with some of the talk they were spewing today. Not them, but some reporters were saying like, oh, they feel good about their 2 linebackers, and they were never seriously in on this linebacker market at the rates that were going. It's like, are you serious? Like I was in the yes, it's spin zone, but also like I was in like the middle of a jog actually yesterday when I first heard that, oh, they feel good about Demetrius Knight and Barrett Carter, and they'll probably they just want to bring in a vet or maybe a role player type guy, like a bring back.
What is a role playing off ball linebacker?
Someone that
doesn't exist.
A guy that they can have play on the line of scrimmage a little bit too and rush the passer as an edge rusher. Someone a little bit of
so not an off ball linebacker. Though.
Well, no, someone who is primary off ball linebacker, but they feel good about dropping down when they need to. Like, so Leo Chanel, basically. Guess who was available, by the way? To sign for only $8 million a year. Leo Chanel. Anyways, so when I first again, funny enough, it's always funny about when you get little bursts of adrenaline, like, because I'm on my jog and I'm starting to get a little tired. I'm listening to a podcast, I hear that, and I think I sprinted the rest of that jog because I was so angry. I didn't break a sweat the whole time. So maybe that's what the Bengals got to do. I'm gonna be in the best shape of my life here pretty soon if they keep giving me bad news when I'm in the middle of a workout. Anyways,
would you like to hear my thoughts on the Boyama?
I do want to stress though, again, I do not. I like both the moves the Bengals made, but they needed to make more and they didn't, and that's why I'm a as the kids would say, a D1 crash out. Go
ahead. My thoughts on the trade on the signing. Boyamafe is, his production definitely went down this year compared to last year. I think he had 10 sacks last year, and I think he had 1 this year. I think part of it was, we brought in Tank Lawrence, and he was just absolutely excellent, way better than any of us, especially in pass rush, right? We had him on. We thought he'd be a rundown guy, but he was really good in pass rush, so that took away a lot of Maffe's snaps. And it's not like Maffe's a bad run defender. He's pretty solid. He's not bad at all. He just had some really good ones. So he already wasn't going to be on the field for rundowns, and he lost a lot of pass rush snaps. So he was kind of buried this year. A+ character, super athletic. Definitely uses athleticism more than technicality to win, which is fine.
Sounds like every Cincinnati edge rusher not named Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah. Shoot, what else was I going to say about him? Yeah. And then the emergence of Derek Hall, too. Him really taking a leap and him being Mike McDonald's probably his favorite defensive end. So that's why he walked. He didn't leave because of like being bad. You know, we kind of match that offer. And I don't think that's too much. It's a little. I want to have paid that much, but it's a free agent end, so you're gonna have to pay a lot for him, especially in this year's market. So I think that's a solid pickup. I think being in the starting role will be good for him. But yeah, don't not like this pickup compared to like the Ken Walker or Rick Woolen pickups for other teams.
Yeah, no, I like the
Kobe Bryant
pickup for sure. I think you're banking on the upside there for sure. And again, the two moves, I want to stress this because I'm not the first Bengals fan to say this, but I just want to stress it. My feelings about the Bengals free agency as a whole has nothing to do with the two guys they brought in because I liked both of those acquisitions. It's the fact that it's only been two guys. That's where the issue is. But I'm excited to see what Brian Cook and Boye Mafe are able to do. I think they're going to be in the building tomorrow, from what I heard. So those will be fun. I'm excited. I'm excited to get the Brian Cook return to Cincinnati press conference and what you said about Mafe character. I'm sure that'll be a good press conference as well. So exciting times. Moving on now. Keenum, 5 years. I am very in favor of this right here. Forget compensatory picks. Can we penalize some free first round picks? I think that sounds fair. I like that idea. Knock those first round picks off the board. They should have to give the Raiders their first round picks still, but the Raiders still get to keep Crosby. I think that's fair. I think that's a fair solution to this whole fiasco. Personally, whether Roger agrees with me or not, I guess we won't find out. Kina, let's see, anyone? Oh, I got Gardner going to another new team. My goodness, Gardner Minshew's been in the league since 2019. How many teams has he been on at this point? He started on the Jags. He went to the Eagles. Went to the Colts. Yeah, went to the Colts. Was he on a team between the Eagles and Colts? I can't remember.
Was it was after the Raiders.
Colts, Raiders, Chiefs, and now Cardinals.
I feel like he was.
I know. I'm like, I know it went Jags for. Oh, hold on. Let's see. Gardner Minshew. Uh-oh. What's happening? Uh-oh. Something just happened on the stream. That was weird. Hold on. We back?
I had you the whole time. I still have you.
Okay. Oh, my computer's all jacking up, but I think we're okay.
Yeah, you sounded. Yeah. Now. No. You sounded fine and looked fine, but now, yeah. Oh, okay, I see. What you're doing. Yeah.
Gardner Minshew. Just got the Wikipedia page here. Probably goes quick. This picture's still with the Eagles. No, I guess he went straight from the Eagles to the Colts. Okay. Good to know. That's the Cardinals. Competing with Jacoby for
I think that's a solid ad.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Cheap. Quiddy Pay got paid.
Yeah.
No pun intended there, but now I'm just now.
That is too much for me.
Yeah, no doubt. Tim Settle back to Washington, where it all began for him.
I've always liked Tim Settle.
D. Alford there in the secondary. They got a nickel corner to replace Teron Johnson, but they haven't replaced anybody else in the secondary yet, I don't think. Jermaine Illuminor and that brings us to Rashid Shaheed, the other big C.
Oh yes. Signing. This was a welcome surprise. I thought it was over. I thought we were losing them. I was pretty bummed, you know. I was already coping, like, oh, we didn't use them that much in the passing game, you know. But, you know, it is a little pricey. But I think losing Bryant and losing Mafe led us to probably, and then I think the events happening where the Raiders went with Naylor and the Bills got DJ Moore probably led to Shaheed coming back, which is great news for us because I mean he's a big reason we won the Super Bowl, that's for sure. And I'm so excited for him to get a full offseason to really build that chemistry with Darnold. So I'm super happy we brought him in. A little pricey, but why not? You know, Cup's going to come off the books next year. You know, one thing I love about Rashid Shaheed is he's a player that always plays with a big smile. Those are my favorite players in football. Yeah, that's why I always love Cam Newton. Cam Newton always played with a big smile. Who else can you think of like that? Jameis.
Mike Hilton. Mike Hilton.
Mike Hilton.
That was a Bengal. That was always happy. Oh, Chad. Of course, Chad.
Well, like smiling when they're playing, you know, and celebrating.
Oh, yeah.
And stuff.
Oh, yeah. Chad was always.
Okay, Chad.
Chad to a T.
Who else? Not too many. There's not many out there. Tebow.
Oh, yeah, good call. Good call.
Hey, those are some of my favorite players. Players that just play with a smile. I just love the game. So that was very good that we brought him back. You know, we don't have to worry about drafting a receiver now. Don't have to worry about replacing that speed threat. So that's good. I am very happy with picking that over K9.
Mm-hmm.
I think K9's much more replaceable.
Mm-hmm.
Another big signing right after though. Jake Collier.
That's right. Kenny Pickett on his 5th team in 5 years. Colts may have just become a 4th place team. Kenny Panther Pickett. That's right. He's back to being a Panther. I didn't think of that. From Pitt Panther to Carolina Panther.
Oh, that's right. Good call.
Colts may become a 4th place team. I don't know. I have a hard time.
In the AFC South? Come on.
I have a hard time with the Titans, but maybe. I don't know. I think the Jags are pretty well set up. The Texans are pretty well set up. It might be the Colts. It depends. You know, it depends on what we see from the Titans.
The Colts looked damn good before Indiana Jones went down.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the Seahawks. They were one of the teams that gave the Super Bowl champions one of their toughest games.
That's true.
People forget that. Phillip Rivers had us on the ropes. Did you see that Mike McDonald, Pardon My Take interview?
I did not, no.
Oh, it's pretty good. But he talked about that game. It's like talked about how Phillip Rivers had him on the ropes. He thought it was pretty cool. He's like he said the big issue for them, which I don't know if I said it then or not, but having no film and no idea how they were going to attack you. That's the reason why it was so tough. But he said he got an ear infection from the Gatorade bath. That's like one of the most I've ever seen McDonald's kind of like bring his walls down. It was very cool. Because they were ribbing him about like, what was it like meeting your son at the Super Bowl for the first time? I was like, oh, it was great. I've been waiting to meet him for so long. And talking about how AJ Barner barks during team meetings and he has to do it back to him.
Yeah.
Shared some funny Harbaugh stories about Harbaugh telling someone who just had a kid that their baby has a good skull for football.
Hey, that's important. Gotta
it is important, but that is very much a Jim Harbaugh thing. Saying.
All right, let's see. Moving forward here.
Koontz.
Nakobe
Dean and Clay Walker.
Yeah,
Georgia backers in Vegas.
Can one of you guys back out of your deal and go sign with Cincinnati, please? Just one. I don't care. Preferably.
I know they said that they're honoring all their deals.
I know. Doesn't mean the players have to. You pull a DeAndre Jordan.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
My old guy Cordell Volson. Hey,
hello, Frank Gore.
3.5 mil. Oh, or to Frank Gore. Yeah, or Frank Gore. I didn't think about that. 3.5 mil for Cordell Volson. Okay, that's fun. Good for him. Noah Fant, go to New Orleans. Nice. He was actually that was one of the teams he visited before he signed with Cincinnati. So
I think that's a good fit. That's a good fit.
Yeah. Dre Greenlaw. There you go. That's the young prize linebacker.
Your only hope.
That's the only hope. Yeah. Travis Kelce back.
What about Tyrell Dodson or Jerome Baker?
So Alex Singleton signed in Denver. Re-signed in Denver. No, thank you. I'll just say no, thank you. No, thank you.
What about Cody Barton?
I don't think he's available. I think he's still under contract in Washington.
He's in Washington this year. I thought he was in Tennessee.
I'm pretty sure.
Was that last year?
I think he was in Denver 24, and then he had a nice enough year in Denver that he got a deal in Washington. I thought it was
Tennessee.
Oh, he might be Tennessee. Oh, I think you're right. I think he went from Seattle to Washington, then Denver, and now he's in Tennessee. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I knew Washington was somewhere on that line, but you're right. He's still under contract in Tennessee. Isaac Seumalo got a nice deal in Arizona.
Did you see his quote? That's pretty funny.
No, I didn't. What was it?
It was like, it's not just about money. I like being there for like. He like caught himself saying like the money was good or something.
Yeah.
Like why he went there.
Roy Lopez, a good player that keeps taking these small contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Another guy I would like from Cincinnati. Reed Blankenship going to Houston. He'll fit in nicely there.
You will.
Let's see. Ardarius Washington, only a 1-year deal. He turned into a solid player in Baltimore. Yeah, obviously he dealt with his injury this year, which made it tough. But he turned into a real nice player for them in that secondary. Rico Dowdle going to Pittsburgh, 2 years, $12.5 million. Teams just do not want to commit long-term money to Rico Dowdle. They did. They broke up. That's a good point. I didn't think about that. They broke up Sonic and Knuckles and the Exciting Whites in the same offseason. That's terrible. It's terrible. We have to cancel the Texans. I like and we'll get to the Pacheco thing in a second, but I like that people are calling Gibbs and Pacheco Sonic and Ugandan Knuckles.
Oh yeah.
Great.
Do you know the way?
Let's see, Braxton Jones back to Chicago. Quincy Williams, another guy I would have liked for Cincinnati. 2 years, $17 million to Cleveland. Oh, jeez. Josh Williams, Cole Strange, Austin Jackson, long snapper. Just a lot of deals there, kind of whatever. Elton Jenkins to Cleveland. I know that's not what that says, but he ends up
solid pickup.
Yeah, he's a good player.
A little older now.
A little older, but he's still a good player.
Oh yeah.
Vera Tucker. If he could stay healthy, I mean, when he's been healthy, Vera Tucker's been like a very good offensive lineman, but can't stay healthy right now. So New England's kind of committing a lot of long-term money there, but if it works, man, they could solve one of their guard spots. That's for sure. Tyquan Thornton back to KC. Alohi Gilman. Did Devin Lloyd? Did it show us Devin Lloyd on here? Or is it showing that as a that? Oh yeah, Devin Lloyd right there. Okay, we'll get to Devin Lloyd in a second. Alohi Gilman. There you go. There's Devin Lloyd. I would have given Devin Lloyd 15 mil, especially knowing where Cincinnati is now with this linebacker market. I would have given Devin Lloyd 15 mil. I also would have given Leo Chanel 8 mil. So, yay for missing on basically all the top targets. But yeah, honestly, because especially after hearing that like it might take 20 mil to get Devin Lloyd, knowing that only took 15 mil, I'm like, come on, how did we not get that done? Supposedly Carolina was his preferred destination. I don't know. He might just be a big Ejiro Evero guy, but which sounds like a lot of people are. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a little disappointed by that one.
He's one of my favorite players, man. I watched his tape and just loved every second of it. His vision and his zone drops and his hip fluidity, some of the best in the NFL. I think that's a steal of a deal. He's just one of my favorite players out there.
You see it.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, if the Bengals had gotten Devin Lloyd on Monday and then proceed to take the next 2 days off, I don't even think there would be this big of a crash out about it. Just get that one other deal done, that one extra deal done, and then you can take 2 days off and people aren't going to really freak out about it too much. But instead, people are taking 2 days off, and Bengals Twitter is currently burning as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's one extra deal.
I think he's going to fit in well in that system. There's some things like I think the Panthers Jalen Phillips deal is ridiculous, but that Devin Lloyd might be my favorite signing, especially at that price point. I think they got him at a pretty fair deal.
Mm-hmm. Jamel Dean to Pittsburgh only for $12 million a year. Considering what other corners we're getting, Jamel Dean for only $12 million a year is not bad at all.
Oh, not at all.
Greg Newsome. He's fallen off a little bit from where he was a few years ago, but he's
solid corner.
Yeah, 1 year, 10 mil. My goodness.
Who's the DC for New York? Is it Weaver? No, Weaver's.
No, Weaver went back to Baltimore. Who is the Giants DC?
Or went to Seattle. Weaver went to Baltimore.
Denard Wilson.
Oh, Denard Wilson. Yeah.
Another.
He's taking that system in kind of an interesting way.
Mm-hmm.
He's taking that in a different way than Minter and McDonald. Because what's so interesting about this whole thing, people act like McDonald and Minter run the same system. They don't. They run very similar things, but they prefer different things. Minter likes to live in quarters a little bit more than McDonald ever did at Baltimore, which is fine. But McDonald brought, he ran a pretty similar defense in 23 in Baltimore and 24 in Seattle. And especially early on, he had trouble adapting to the NFC brand of football. People don't realize that there's it's not a huge difference, but there is a little bit of a difference in play between NFC and AFC, and it has to do with the quarterbacks. The quarterbacks in the AFC are better, so teams in the AFC spread it out a little bit more. They go with more receivers on the field, whereas the NFC is very much dominated by the McVay Shanahan disciples. A lot more heavier personnel, a lot more run emphasis, a lot more under center, a lot more attached tight end and condensed sets. So we had to adapt it a little bit, especially in the run fits, to do some adapting there. Denard Wilson went really heavy into some funky disguises. But Orr ran didn't have much vision, honestly. Better O-lines for a while too. I think that's a hard one to say, I think they have more profoundly built run games is maybe what I would say. and that can sometimes make an O-line look better. I think the Seahawks O-line outplayed their talent this year. All right, where were we?
Uganda Knuckles, Isaiah Pacheco.
Oh, Knuckles, Uganda Knuckles. I mean, that's a perfect ad right there.
If you're trying to get David Montgomery for a discount, David Montgomery, Isaiah Pacheco's your guy.
Oh yeah, greater value. Romeo Doubs.
Yeah, Dobbs.
I saw some funny memes of him wearing a big hat.
Braden Smith to Houston.
Good
That's
ad.
A good ad for that offense.
That was what they needed.
Keep building that up. Let's see here. Anything else that really notable? Malcolm Rodriguez back. Nashawn Wright only get 1 year, $5.5
That
million.
was surprising.
He got $1 million for every pick he had last year. That's crazy.
Boy Mafia got $20 million for each sack he got.
That's true. Across 4 years. But interceptions are more rare.
They are.
Let's see. Anything else?
David Moore
is still kicking in Carolina.
Attaboy.
Kroger. Sky Moore. Speaking of Morris, there you go.
Oh, here's one I'm excited to talk about.
Oh,
Rick Woolen.
Yeah, I was talking Caden Ellis back to New Orleans. That's I just want to highlight this because he had a very nice year in Atlanta.
And wasn't talked about enough.
Another linebacker that I would have taken that deal. Damn good deal, as Brad Pitt and Inglourious Bastards would have said. But anyways, go ahead and talk about Reek before I crash out about more linebackers.
So it was pretty clear to me that Reek wasn't coming back. You know, from an outsider's perspective, I was like, let's sign him both. Come on, let's just run it back. But I think it's pretty clear that Mike McDonald did not like Reek Woolen. He got benched multiple times. I think the stunt he pulled in the NFC Championship sealed his fate. And it's pretty clear that his market was pretty dry for those same reasons. He's got off-the-field issues, too. Got issues with social media and video games and women. Football's not the center of his life. Just probably one of the best talents, athletes at cornerback, on defense, or maybe even in football. Just an incredible body and talent. And it's, what goes up in here that really holds him back. So I'm not surprised he's gone. I think Philly is one of the absolute worst places for him to go. Those fans are going to, as soon as he does something stupid, which he will, he's going to. Because, this was a big year for him. Like, people are like, oh, he's going to be motivated on a 1-year contract. It's like, he's on a 1-year contract this year. When he does something stupid, he's going to be destroyed, and he'll probably get in his head. Like, Sean McVay is an absolute demon for throwing a go ball or throwing a double move on Reek after he had the taunting penalty. Like, that was just diabolical. And want to know something really funny? He wrote a Instagram post to the Seahawks today.
Yeah.
To the fans, to the org. 100% AI written.
Beautiful.
Reek. I liked him. He was fun to watch. He was annoying to watch. He was a personality, but we weren't ever going to pay him. Wish him the best. When we play the Eagles, hope you don't get any picks. Hope we burn you. JSN versus Reek Woolen is going to be a fun matchup. The one thing that I'm very curious is Reek is so much better in man than zone, and Fangio runs no man. People are like, oh, he runs the 12th most man in the league. No, he doesn't. They're calling his matching. He runs match quarters. So they're saying that some of his zone is actually man, but they're dumb. if you have a brain, you know that he runs some of the least amount of zone or man in the league. That's a really good, talented secondary, though. But man, they have a lot of character problems on that team. AJ Brown, Jalen Carter, Reek Woolen, Nick Sirianni. Ugh. And you see that Big Dom's official title came out today?
No, what is it?
Oh, I gotta find this real quick. He has several. He's like the biggest hanger on in football. No other team does stupid shit like this. All right, Dom DeSandro, senior advisor to the general manager / chief security officer / game day coaching operations.
Those are three like entirely different roles. What?
Yep.
What does this guy know?
What dirt does he have?
Yeah.
Where'd this guy even come from?
I don't know.
And like this freaking idiot has the Italian flag on his hat. Oh my god. Chief security officer. What a made up joke of a title.
No, chief security officer is a real title. It shouldn't be.
I'll say this. He has worked there since '99.
Oh, okay. Well, it should not be the same big game day coaching operations. Like chief security officers doing their own thing.
Okay, here's his early life in Wikipedia. DeSandro is a second-generation Italian American. It's like, wow.
No,
of course
kidding.
It starts with that too.
No,
and was
kidding.
born in South Philadelphia in 1978 or 1979. I don't know how we don't have that one down. Earned an athletic scholarship to play for Penn State, but did not appear in any games, being dismissed from the team for unspecified reasons. He got dismissed from the Joe Paterno era Mid-Atlantic Lions. Yeesh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here. Oh my god. DeSandro is known for being well connected around the city of Philadelphia and has helped players navigate legal issues. He's in the freaking mob.
Oh, dude, he's in the mob. That's so funny.
The Inquirer described him as the Ray Donovan fixer. If you hear the word fixer and Italian, yeah, that tells me what he really is doing. See, I'm allowed to make fun of these stupid Italians because I do have Italian heritage, and these idiots annoy me.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a really funny tweet. I gotta find this on about the U.S.-Italy game.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta find this because it's so good. Oh, there's a flicker. Okay. The fattest Italian man ever who has never left the Northeast is sitting in New Jersey going, I'm torn on who to root for. And then someone took a screenshot of the next tweet. And it's a guy named Nick Fasoli. And it's a big fat guy on his on his Twitter profile picture. This is the hardest game I've ever had to watch. I love my country so much, and I also love my Nona and where my family came from. Oh my god. I hate these people so much.
All right, back to the
/ bringer of donuts to meetings. Nice.
/ bringer donuts to meetings. Very nice. All right, back to the free agents crashed out. Leo Chanel for only 8 mil.
Ridiculous value.
This was the moment. I was outside when this happened. So. But if I was inside, this is the moment where my phone would have met drywall.
I was furious when I saw this deal come through. I'm like, are we kidding me right now? Like, Leo Chanel was like my guy. Leo Chanel was the free agent linebacker. It's like, okay, we didn't get Devin Lloyd. Leo's still out there. We didn't get Nakobe Dean. Leo's still out there. Everything will be okay when I see that Leo Chanel sign with the Bengals notification. When I saw he's Commanders for $8 million, that's when I was like, what are we doing? There's no plan here. It's all falling apart. All of the goodwill from yesterday is now gone. I was patient until this deal came through. And it got even worse when that Logan Hall deal came through a few hours later, because that was like the 3-tech that I wanted. And he didn't get too much either. He got like $7 million a year. I think it was 2 years, $14 million. Like, I just furious. It's like it's genuinely like they were like, oh, we put all our effort into day one, then we fell asleep for 2 days.
Duke Tobin was like neat during free agency with how much I stuff.
Logan Hall, Texans. I love Logan Hall, man. I loved him coming out of Houston back in 22.
I remember that.
They'd sign him, and I was hoping they'd draft him at 31 overall, and they drafted Dax Hill, and he's turned into a good player for us, so I'm not mad. But Logan Hall's a good player.
I definitely remember that.
For 2 years, my goodness, that's great value. Wish I was you right now. Let's see other deals. No, the Texans D-line coaches seem to get a lot of those guys right, so that's for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, I love the way the Texans played. Really does remind me of the LOB, of just beat the hell out of you, because they don't do anything special schematically, but they have incredible athletes on all 3 levels, and they beat the freaking hell out of you.
Yeah,
and that's just fun to watch.
Yep,
and just they're adding more and more guys to the defensive line, man. It's fun.
Yep. We already talked about all these trades last week, so we don't have to really talk about all of them again.
The only one.
Rashawn Gary. Well, we didn't talk about Rashawn Gary or Minka. That's
true.
Yeah. With the tiny man and guardian, yeah.
Hey, Earl Thomas was tiny. Having a tiny guy playing free safety, pretty good play.
We didn't talk about Teron Johnson either.
Oh yeah,
Teron Johnson, good get for Vegas. He's still a real good player. Just salary cap shedding for Buffalo. On Buffalo's part, they said they were going to release him, so the fact they're able to get anything for him, especially 2 picks, there you go, works for them. Just another player that Vegas added on defense that I really like.
They're like, I know I slandered their defense earlier, and they are adding good players, but I think it's going to take a year, man. They were just in such a horrible spot this year.
I'm not saying they won't, but they got good players. Minka to the Jets, intra-division trade, I should say. Only had to give up a 7th rounder for him. I would have made that deal if I'm Cincinnati. And we got Brian Cook eventually, so I shouldn't be too mad about the Minka stuff, but I would have made that deal. I would not have traded a 4th round pick for Rashawn Gary. I'm okay with the Bengals now.
Yeah, when they said they were going to cut him.
Yeah, I'm okay with not making that deal. Dallas got desperate there.
The defensive moves of Dallas over the last year has been head scratchers for me. Just in that, like, Minka, but then go get Williams. And there's a lot of head scratchers there for me.
Gino back to New York.
Hilarious. Okay, we gotta take a second to talk about that one.
All right.
Come on.
Go ahead.
There's been so many.
You know more about it. You've seen a lot more Gino than I have.
I mean, God, he was horrible last year. And the Seahawks, everyone made fun of the Seahawks for taking Darnold over Gino. I've taken my victory lap on that many times. So it's a dead horse now. But it's hilarious that he's going back to New York. It really is. That's the best that New York can get. Rich Eisen was in disbelief. The only good Eisen content these days are when he's moaning about the Jets. It's just There's been so many funny like IK Menkapali memes going on too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, like IK Menkapali waiting like a cuckoo clock in one of the lockers.
Or the best prank ever.
Best prank ever.
Wait, when was Geno Smith Stroud's mentor? That's news to me.
Yeah, that's news to me too.
Oh my god, that's a horrible. Yeah. Explains a lot about CJ Stroud. But I didn't know about that. That's pretty funny.
But yeah, just hilarious to me. Hilarious. And Vegas is like taking his entire deal too.
Yeah.
I wonder if Geno would have been as bad last year with the Seahawks as he was with the Raiders.
Probably not. I think the situation Vegas was just pretty toxic.
And Chip Kelly was horrendous too.
Yeah.
I do think the one thing that really one of the big deltas between Smith and Darnold is leadership. Geno can be a bit of a hothead.
Mm-hmm.
No, don't do me like that. Don't get my hopes up.
It's true. I'm on Twitter right now. It's true. That's why I'm laughing.
Don't hurt me like that. I already got the notification that he's staying.
Yeah, he already tweeted he's staying. Trust me, it hurts for the Bengals, man. Pac-Man Jones.
I won't lie though, Bo. I just looked up Maxx Crosby on Twitter.
I know he didn't get traded. Pac-Man Jones teased us all today, so
he did. He got that was because I don't think Pac-Man was trolling. You know,
I don't think he was trolling. I think he was high.
There's a chance at that, but I think someone probably told him that. And he believed it. I don't think he was acting in bad faith.
No, I don't think so either.
Like you just got to know, like, yeah, these guys don't know anything.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here we go. Here, the most fun conversation we're about to have is coming up. There it is. Trey Hendrickson is a Baltimore Raven. So,
oh my god!
Should we start with the Maxx Crosby stuff before we?
Yeah, I think we have to.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously that trade falls through in the 11th hour, right before it can be made official. Supposedly on a failed physical, which I don't doubt that Maxx Crosby failed his physical. But more often than not, so the Ravens will still be bad versus the run. Exactly. If you know anything about Trey Hendrickson, he's terrible versus the run. So this doesn't really help him there. Maxx Crosby's actually good versus the run. So
he's the best run defensive end in football.
Yeah. But the Ravens saw that Trey Hendrickson was still on the table, and they could get him for a little bit less than they were on the hook to pay Maxx Crosby.
And no picks.
Keep their first round picks. And they got cold feet, and they were like, oh wow, that meniscus, it's not looking good. Y'all know damn well what his meniscus was going to look like when you made that trade. The only reason they backed out was because Trey Hendrickson was still available, and they didn't think he would be, and they figured they can get their picks back.
Personally, the way I feel about it is, I think people are making too big of a deal out of it. Honestly, this is not unheard of. It happens. Teams fail players on physicals and trades. It's really not like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. This never happens. No, it happens, and it's definitely part of the game. And they, got a better opportunity. If people are acting like the Ravens are super scummy for this, honestly, I don't. I think the worst part of this whole thing is the timing. I think that is pretty tough, especially for the Raiders. But honestly, I think 31 teams are going to forget about this. I think the Raiders are definitely not going to be doing business with the Ravens anytime soon. But other than that, I think it's going to be forgotten pretty quickly.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some lasting impact here, because it's sort of, and part of this isn't the Ravens' fault. Part of this is just the idea of a legal tampering period. There is an element of good faith that you have to operate within. And I think the fact that the Ravens kind of played the system to their benefit, where they're like, oh, we can make this deal, but when we see something better come up, we can just renege on that deal. And obviously, because Vegas had a ton of cap space to work with, it didn't end up being a huge deal. But what if Vegas was relying on the $33 million? What's up?
It still did leave them in a tough spot cap-wise, though.
Yeah. What if Vegas wasn't able to sign Tyler Linderbaum anymore because they didn't have that cap space opened up? What if Vegas wasn't able to sign those linebackers? What if they weren't able to sign Teron Johnson? Like, they got a bunch of players. Jalen Naylor. They got players, and good players at that, with the cap space that was opened up through the Maxx Crosby trade. They were, of course, because of their cap space they had going into that trade, they were still able to follow through on those deals, and luckily didn't have too much of an impact for the Raiders. But they also missed out on now first-round picks that they believe were theirs. So if I'm another team, say, and I'll separate it from Cincinnati because obviously I'm biased. Say I'm the Washington Commanders. I'm Adam Peters. If this is like a draft pick for draft pick trade in a few months, whatever. But if I'm thinking about trading a player or like a major trade like this, I'm thinking about what Eric DeCosta did and whether he's going to end up leaving me high and dry and screwed when it matters.
I mean, but like, when is this situation going to happen again, though? Right? It's a pretty unique spot and situation.
Well, but that's exactly what my next point was going to be. Yes, the teams do back out of trades because of physicals. Teams are able to get out of trades because of physicals. Trades often get renegotiated because of physicals. Dang it. Went away. There's never been a trade like this that got rescinded because of physical. There's never been a trade that had multiple first-round picks and a $35 million per year player on the sides. Correct. Yes. I like that ruling that they should have to play Thursday games every single week. Well, in alternating weeks. I guess that'll give them like 18 mini buys, or not 18. Like, give them what? 9 mini buys, but also 9 short weeks.
You take every week is a normal week if every week is Thursday.
That's exactly.
If anything, your opponent is at a disadvantage.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You can't have them play every Thursday. You have to alternate.
There we go. That's
make every home game a Thursday night game, so that's harder for fans to get to. Your home fans to go to those.
I do agree with you on that good faith principle. Like, I don't think people realize that, especially in the draft, when a trade happens, you tell the team you're trading with who you're trying to pick. Fans don't realize that. Operating in good faith is really important. So that is a very good point.
Brandon brings up a good point here too that I didn't even mention. Influenced the entire edge market as well. Like the Rashawn Gary trade with the Cowboys, like they went to that because the Maxx Crosby trade made it so he wasn't an option for them anymore. Chicago, they weren't pursuing Maxx Crosby anymore. They went and signed a bunch of guys so they couldn't anymore. Other teams that were in on him, lots of teams that were in on Maxx Crosby backed out because of obviously him not supposedly being available anymore. So they went out and they spent up a lot of their cap space that they could have used to bring in a Crosby. And, I don't know. It throws a wrench in a lot of things. And, again, the Raiders won't end up getting hurt too much for it because of what their cap situation was like before that trade. But I think it damages the Ravens' reputation. That's true. Well, yeah, no, the Ravens don't leave this situation screwed other than, again, reputation. And then we get to Trey Hendrickson. Dude, Trey Hendrickson went from a surefire future Ring of Honor guy, gonna get a good vibe post on Bengals socials, gonna be respected no matter where he went. Well, unless he went for a division team. The fact that he's at the centerpiece of all this whole thing, and he goes to the Ravens, like he's not quite on Carson Palmer's level as far as Benedict Arnold among Bengals fans, Bengal Dick Arnold, if you will. But he's probably number 2. I think he's up there for sure. Because how he handled his entire contract situation last year was just a bad look. He just came across like a drama king the whole time. B, he gets hurt halfway through the season. Ends up waiting to get the surgery to ensure he doesn't have to play again the rest of the year when he could have just gotten it as soon as he got hurt. Refuses to help the Bengals facilitate a trade with the during the franchise when they're debating whether they should tag and trade him. Supposedly backs out of an agreement with Indianapolis that he had on Tuesday. Or it would have been for less money than the Ravens were offering, but supposedly backed out when the Ravens started seeing, oh, he's still out there. What if we swoop in? Raven pun intended. We swoop in and we pay him a little bit more. And we back out of the Maxx Crosby trade. And the rest is history from there, right? So, fair enough. He did turn down the Colts, supposedly, for the Lou Anarumo connection. So I don't know. This whole situation. Oh, and that's not to mention the deal that the Ravens gave him was smaller than the deal the Bengals were offering him last year that he turned down. Which isn't necessarily his fault. Maybe he wanted to bet on himself and he bet wrong. It happens, but it's another factor in this situation. But I don't know. He's a 31-year-old edge rusher that was never a good run defender. He is an elite pass rusher. We'll see if that continues. He definitely had a down year before he got hurt this season. So it'll just be interesting to see how everything plays out for him in Baltimore. I wish him nothing but the worst. And I do say that. No, I don't say facetiously at all. I do mean it. I'd say the past year of this whole contract situation has just been such a massive headache that he himself created in large part. I've already communicated that I've got issues with the Bengals front office. But seeing how this whole thing played out, I think Trey Hendrickson does deserve a lot of the blame for how this whole contract situation has unfortunately played out.
It takes 2 to make a contract situation a mess.
Yes. So, bye. Won't miss you. Bengal Dick Darnold. I will say though, my favorite tweet to come out of this whole situation is that Trey Hendrickson and the Ravens are a perfect match for one another because they are both familiar with backing out of previously agreed on deals. So,
you know what my favorite tweet to come out of this whole situation is?
What's that?
The Ravens fan who's like, I'm shaving my head if we get Maxx Crosby.
Okay, that was great. I meant more the Trey Hendrickson.
Okay.
Because that was great. No,
post a picture of his shaved head minutes before the trade. It doesn't go through, and it's the funniest face ever. Oh my god, you got to pull it up, Beau.
I know. My computer is like fried.
Okay. I was just looking up on my phone. Just the look he gives in the camera, his kind of like messy, unshaved face.
Yeah.
It is an incredible picture.
A Ravens Crosby jersey. Oh yeah, he's got to take a picture of it in it now.
I love the replies are so funny. Oh gosh. People like photoshopped him onto Lamar's face.
Mm-hmm.
God, it's just incredible. Oh, I love Twitter.
Yep. All right.
For
That's all
like
I got to say about that situation, though.
Danny Dimes getting that much money off of an ACL.
I backed out of the haircut. That's pretty good.
Or no, Achilles, even worse.
Trying to think. Oh, the Kyler officially released today.
Channing Tindall, one of my guys.
Oh, he's not big. Third team in 5 years.
Yeah. I know.
Chris Stoll, big move.
Before that, actual good move though.
Oh yeah, bring back Josh Jones.
He was excellent against Bull Rush Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Clemens, the Jets fans' replies to him signing with the Colts was so funny.
Yeah.
Never seen a worse player. Like several fans said the exact same thing. Very
dang. Chase on another deal I would have made. 1 year, $11 million. Just another good pass rusher coming off a career year and only getting 1 year, $11 million. It's kind of a surprise.
Fired to the Patriots is a really good deal.
Yes, yeah. Oh yeah, 1 year, $9 million. That's an awesome deal. I know he's older, but he had one of the best years of his career this past season.
I mean,
Daniel Jones is the new Kirk
Cousins. As well.
Maybe Daniel Jones is the new Kirk Cousins. His career earnings are going to be insane when it's all said and done with all the deals.
Yeah, because the Giants contract too.
Yeah. Awuzie got a nice deal. Well, not like a big deal, but getting. So he did pretty well in Baltimore for himself last year, so going back makes a lot of sense. Lonnie Johnson, Chiga Okonkwo, 3 years, $30 million. I would have done that. You're gonna hear me say I would have done that a lot. Nick Cross, 2 years, $14 million.
That one hurts.
That as a nickel defender, I would have brought him in as a nickel corner. Honestly, he's just a baller. Javon Hargrave already.
That's
released and I think signed a few. Oh, it doesn't have the signing here yet, but he was signed by Green Bay already. I would have done that. Ozar Sholari.
Jake Bobo.
Jake Bobo's back.
More Bobo.
Jake Browning, 4-1 out. He's gone.
Bengals legend. Ring of Honor.
Season. Ring of Honor for 1 year and then Ring of Shame for a different year. So cancel it out and just say we don't put his name anywhere.
Ring of Shame.
Yeah, dude, he was one of the worst. Genuinely one of the worst 3-game stretches I've ever seen from a quarterback this past year.
You've seen a lot.
I've seen some rough ones. I had to watch Ryan Finley at one point.
Like, I'm pretty blessed in that I've very rarely had to watch bad NFL football.
Bradley Chubb. I like how 2 straight transactions. Bradley Chubb cut. Bradley Chubb signed.
Bills
Buffalo. Buffalo loves paying these old edge rushers.
I know.
John Mechie got basically a minimum contract to reunite with Bryce. That's good. Good for him. Jonathan Allen. I guess there's a 3-tech out there to sign.
John Tucker getting tender.
Yeah, let's see. Any other big one? Javon Hargrave. I would have done that. I will not. No, I want nothing to do with Mario Edwards.
Man, the Javon Hargrave Grant Cohen beef was so funny.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
That's what he wants.
Hendrickson goes. That's what I'm rooting for. Yeah, but if Hendrickson goes to the Ravens and starts to show his decline that he did show in 2025 before he got hurt, if that continues, I'm not tripping at all. I know, who was it? I want to say it was Acho. Pretty sure it was Acho. Yeah, he went on a Twitter. And he posted clips of Trey Hendrickson saying "Oh man, it's Ravens aren't even fair. Just give they're gonna be favorites in the AFC after this move." He was using clips from 2024. That's all I'm gonna say. And that's not to disrespect what Trey Hendrickson did. His body of work, my favorite 3 words, body of work. His body of work in Cincinnati is absolutely Ring of Honor deserving. But the way he left and basically everything that happened with him in 2025, I want nothing to do with him.
Yeah, it was very annoying. I'll give you that.
Yeah. And he wasn't even good when the season actually happened either. He wasn't even good in 2025 games. Evan Neal back to New York. I guess.
Oh my God! I saw the clip of that New York radio host freaking out after Evan Neal called fans booing him burger flippers or something like that.
Yep.
A classic.
Ravens. You know what? Ravens get overhyped every single year. I'll agree with that. Every single year the Ravens get overhyped.
It's because Lamar's a joker.
That's true. Last year Lamar got hurt, but then also their defense was. Everyone thought, their defense is going to be one of the best in the league. It ended up being terrible. Their offensive line is going to be good. Ended up being terrible.
Mike McDonald effect, baby. Well, you know what? Something I remember very much more in the 2010s. Playoff choker narratives were even meaner then. Lamar would get brutalized even worse in the 2010s. Same with Allen.
Lamar wouldn't survive the Phillip Rivers treatment.
No.
And say you have actual ESPN commentators going on NFL Live and being it's not Lamar's fault. They are crying to support Lamar. And same thing with Allen. They're crying to support.
Well, and you actually had sports journalists.
Yeah. Now it's all just
copying Stephen A. Smith.
Yep. And it's they have to attach Acho is probably the worst example because he has to attach himself to Tua was his guy. You attach yourself to one guy. Nothing that guy does is ever wrong. And then on the flip side, nothing the other guy does is ever right. Like Herbert.
I'll say this. I think Stephen A. Smith gets too much blame for what's happened to sports media. I don't think it's his fault. I think it's the network's fault for promoting his style. Because Stephen A. Smith in the 2010s, before he became ESPN, it's must-see TV. It was excellent. It was very entertaining. But he just had a show. He was just First Take. We were balanced with real sports journalism in other places. And then they just went all in on that. And that's their business strategy, and they're more than, it's their right to make that choice. But it's also my right to criticize it and saying it's really hurt sports journalism. I remember my dad got really into First Take when he was working night shift. He'd come home for UWPD, eat his dinner with First Take on in the morning. Drove my mom nuts. she's like, I hate these guys who are always screaming and their faces turn red.
Oh yeah. Oh, Skip Bayless and Stephen A. First Take was something.
Well, that was long past. That was.
Oh, was that over at that point?
This is post COVID.
Oh, okay.
So I think Max was still on, but it's just all the screaming and shouting. My dad really liked when Big Perk was, because my dad loves basketball, and one of he always loved when Big Perk got made fun of. I think someone said his face looks like an acorn. But he really got into it for until we quit UWPD. For a while, it was he always loved when Stephen A. would make fun of Cowboys fans, right? Hey, Robbie, you see us first take this morning? Stephen A was merciless. He got really into it, man.
Let's see. Osa Digizua.
Good trade by the
Good
Niners.
trade for the Niners. Yeah, I would have made that deal again. Third round pick for Osa Digizua. Are you kidding me? Yes, I would have done that 1,000 times. That's ridiculous. Cincinnati.
Would you have traded for Solomon Thomas?
No. I mean, 7th round pick. Who cares, right? Maybe, but like, I don't care to make that deal. But as soon as I saw all the Niners had to give up to get Osa Digizua as a 3rd round pick, I was furious.
Tells you how they feel about Alfred Collins and Michael Williams.
Yeah. Ashawn Robinson, another guy I probably would have brought in. 1 year, 10.
He's still kicking it, man. That Bama D line is like still kicking it. You got Ashawn Robinson, Jaron Reed, Jonathan Allen. They're all still in the league.
Yeah. Was Cowboys trying to get one more third for a Crosby trade? I don't know, honestly. I don't know what the Cowboys' plan was. I think they're fine with Gary, though. I think they thought maybe they could start to get a little bit of a logjam in that D tackle room with Kenny Clark and Quinnen Williams, and they might just want to maximize the draft capital. They did not have a single day 2 picks. So they had 2 top 20 picks, but then didn't have another pick till round 4. So I think they're kind of
part of it too is he's kind of the odd one out there when it comes to being a complete defensive tackle. Clark and Williams play to run the pass. They're complete defensive tackles. The Digizua is a true pass rush 3 tech.
Let's see. Menahue would have made that deal. 1 year, $7 million. And that's that. That's all the moves.
Mm-hmm. Is that a stitch?
What?
I think a stitch might have came out of my mouth.
Uh-oh.
No, I hope it happens. Jeez.
Let's see. I want to look at top available free agents. We'll kind of speed rush through it because it's starting to get pretty late. So speed rush through it. Just go by position. Quarterbacks, there's lots of. I mean, no one's really come off the board. Rodgers still available. Kirk, Kyler just hit the open market. Russ, Flacco. I mean, you're. It's not a long list. Most of these guys are still out there. Not a lot of actually.
I want Russ to retire, man. It's a humiliation ritual.
Yeah.
Do you think,
bring back Mixon's? Sorry, go ahead.
Do you think Russ could do well in the booth? I don't think so.
No.
If he's real, if he acts real, yes. Okay. Running backs. This is important for me. Ugh, good Lord.
Yeah, it's not great.
There's just nothing. Travis Homer.
I had no idea that Joe Mixon's only a little bit older than Najee Harris.
Joe Mixon sitting back one.
Yeah, he needs to sign a 1-day contract, retire a Bengal. His foot's done. Sitting back one's pretty good.
Market, man.
Yeah, you're gonna have to draft a guy. Rashad White's interesting.
Yeah, he's the only guy. Him and Brian Watt Robinson, and there's a lot of talk about him coming in there.
Yeah, nothing else here really. Receiver.
The thing is, I do think we're kind of going in that kind of like Niners mode of before they got McCaffrey of a lot of kind of underrated guys. Have a stable, keep them fresh, run the zone.
Tyreek Hill's out there still. He'll be out there for a while though.
Charlie Kirk, according to Stephen A.
Debo's out there.
Have you gone on the Kirk way?
No, I have not. That's up in Phoenix. I know.
Oh, okay.
Debo. I don't know. I'd take Debo as a wide receiver 3. I don't know.
Burger Boy.
Yeah. He wasn't terrible in Washington.
Honestly, he was better this year.
Yeah.
Niners people keep saying he's coming back. Wow, it is picked over. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, it's rough. Tight end. I mean, David Njoku, Jonnu Smith still out there. Wash receiver. Yeah, mostly it's wash receiver. Yeah.
It's a brutal free agent class and a brutal draft class.
I would take David Njoku if he wants to stay in Ohio. I'd take him. Nothing else here is really inspiring me. Jonnu Smith's fine. I don't know. You're kind of hoping he turns back in 2024 Miami Jonnu Smith, but he's fine. Yeah, nothing else there. We'll just do all offensive linemen all together. Jawan Taylor. Hell yeah. Taylor Decker, Joel Batonia. Honestly, there's some names here, honestly, that are still out there. Let's sort by market value. Decker, Rasheed Walker. I'm surprised he's
old, though.
Yeah, but Walker, only 26 years old, only 4 years of experience, coming off the starting left tackle in Green Bay on a playoff team, had good tape, good grades. I'm surprised he's still available. In a league where Dan Moore got the deals that he got got the deal he got last year, I'm shocked that Rasheed Walker's still out there.
That's fair.
No one else here. Batonia's older. He might be debating retirement. Wyatt Teller, I've heard, actually, funny enough, I've heard a lot of Wyatt Teller to Houston rumors. We'll see if that comes to fruition. Dylan Parham is not available. He signed with the Jets today, so this is a little bit out of date. It's 12 more offensive linemen. Yeah, probably. Trevor Penning also back in LA, so this again not accurate. All right, let's go D tackles now. Or we'll do edges because it pops up first. Reddick, who? Bosa, Ebiketie. I'd take Ebiketie, but apparently the Bengals aren't in on him, so
seems like his market's drier than people expected too.
Yeah, I'd take him. Al-Qadim Muhammad got 11 sacks last year. I'd probably take that, but probably
he's
not
old
7.
though.
He is old. Yeah, exactly. AJ Epineza, maybe. Clowney, yeah. Maybe.
How old is Clowney these days?
33.
Not as old as I thought, honestly.
Son Reddick. Son Reddick, Calvin Noy. Yeah, that's it. Oh, Dinko Autry's out there. Yeah. Yeah, not a lot of inspiring options out there. All right, D tackle. This is where the Bengals need somebody. David Onyemata signed in New York, so he's not available. I don't know why I say he is. Some of these are not up to date. Come on, DJ Reader's going to be a Bengal. It's going to happen.
Everyone knows.
I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. Other names here. Looking for a 3-tech, I guess. Where'd Jonathan Allen go? Hold on, let me go to the left. Previous AAB. Jonathan Allen. Sure. Dalvin Tomlinson, maybe. He can play. He's got a little 3-tech versatility to him. Calais Campbell's big. He's tall.
How old is he now?
39.5. He'll be 40.
Let's go.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't want nothing to do with Mario Edwards. Gosh, there's like no 3-techs here. Yeah, I get literally the best case for Cincinnati is DJ Reader for nose, and then one of these.
They just don't let 3-techs hit the market.
Yep, exactly. Oh, bring back Larry Ogunjobi. There you go. That's what you gotta do. Yeah, that's where we're at. Oh my goodness.
Can I interest you in Mike Mills?
I'm gonna kick you off the pod. I'm just kidding. Never do that.
The trivia question: who was the first player to greet Mike McDonald in Seattle?
Mike Morris. I knew that.
That's Mike Morris.
Here we go. Drake Greenlaw, I'd take if the medicals check out. We'll see. Get him in the building this week. We'll see. They'll probably start bringing guys in for visits here pretty soon. I'd take him as medicals check out. Otherwise, Wagner. I thought Wagner was older than 35, honestly. I'm not going to lie. I thought he was like 38, 39.
How old is Russ? I guess Russ was grad transfer.
Yeah. So, I'd take Wagner if he's only 35. I mean, yeah, I'd take them, I guess.
That's kind of crazy for a linebacker, though.
Yeah, I know.
Because Luke Kuechly retired. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Luke Kuechly's in the Hall of Fame. He was in the same draft class as Bobby Wagner.
Is Bobby a first ballot Hall of Famer?
I think so, yeah.
I think so, too. Especially if he gets the tackle record. He's gonna have a game like what's his name? Bam Adebayo, 100 tackles. One game.
The funny thing is, when Greenlaw actually played in Denver last year, he was still really good. So, like, if you get him in the building and his medicals check out, I think you can save face a little bit if you get Trey Greenlaw. But we'll see. I don't even know if the Bengals want a linebacker. It genuinely sounds like they might just like Demetrius Knight and Barrett Carter, which... Moving on. Before I get too mad. Marshawn Lattimore, no thank you. Yeah, this... I mean, it's a lot of names.
Seahawk.
Lattimore,
He's a Seahawk.
Diggs. Jonathan
Everyone knows
Jones,
Marshawn Lattimore's a Seahawk.
Yeah. Jory Jackson's down here. Marco Wilson. Camp Taylor Britt. Hell yeah. A lot of names. Not a lot of guys that really inspire you, though, especially right now. And then lastly, safety. Sorry, we're not going to go into the specialists. Oh, yeah, this market's dry. Yeah, there's no one really. Jaquan Brisker's still out there, actually. Okay, never mind. Jaquan Brisker's still inspiring. I'd take Jaquan Brisker still.
Good thing you got your guy.
Yeah, we got our guy, so we're good there. Tamar Hamlin. Oh, yeah.
He's not real. He's a clone.
It's not real, exactly. And that's that. All right.
There's something I want to talk about.
What's that?
It is Eric DeCosta's presser today.
Oh, I didn't watch it, unfortunately. I just saw the quotes from it after the fact.
So I'll say this. Somehow, Brandon Beane still had a worse presser than DeCosta, which is hilarious to me. Like, I was hoping he'd be like, I didn't draft Keon Coleman in his presser.
Goodness, yeah. Oh, I think I saw that tweet, but then I think you also sent it to me. The one NFL GM's reaction. Yeah, that was the one. Yep.
The scummiest thing about it was like, oh, we were telling Trey we really wanted him and Maxx together. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
That one was pretty. He was laying that one on pretty thick. But honestly, it really wasn't that bad of a presser, especially. I was hoping we'd get something like the Bills, man. That was so epic. But honestly, pull up his draft history. Or is your computer bugging too much?
I don't want to open a new link or a new tab right now.
All right,
I've seen it though. It's not great.
There we go. Here we go. Last year. Malachi Starks. Not as good as Nick Amari. Mike Green. Bust. Emory Jones. Overdrafted. Didn't do anything. Teddy Buchanan. Didn't do much. Carson Vincent. Didn't do much. Loop. Blew the game. And then late draft picks. Nate Wiggins has been great. Roger Rosenberg. Solid. Adisa Isaac. Devontae Walker. DJ Tampa. Rashim Ali. Devin Leary, late round picks. Zay Flowers, Trenton Simpson, Tavius Robinson, Caillou Blue Kelly. Everything since 22, which had Hamilton, Linderbaum, Jones, Daniel Fallola, everyone's favorite, Charlie Kolar, Jordan Stout, Isaiah Likely. Everything after that is stuff. There's some serious questions here, buddy. Ever since Ozzy left, there's some serious questions of you losing your way as Ravens drafting. That needs to be a bigger story right now.
Yep, I agree with that.
All right. Should we wrap it up?
Yes. Before we do that, give me one free agent the Seahawks need to sign.
They're not signing anybody. A running back of any kind? Just a running back. That's all. That's all.
You get Rashad White.
I mean, that he's not like amazing or anything like that, but
Good play.
I just want to add somebody. If that makes any sense.
That's fair. That's fair. Alrighty. Well, that is it for this.
What about you? Oh. You got to do it too.
None of those D tackle names inspired me. None of the edge rush names inspired me. So I'll go linebacker and say, I'll say either Dre Greenlaw if the medicals check out, Bobby Wagner if they don't.
Mhm.
So there you go.
I'd be happy if you got to experience some Bobby.
Again, I thought he was older than he is. I thought he was like 38, 39. He's only
Me
35.
too.
Well, that's it for this edition of the West Coast Draft Podcast. We'll be back probably later this week, maybe a weekend, Saturday. We'll play it by ear. With maybe more news. I guess we'll see.
I can't believe I had power all podcast. Whew.
Yeah, I know. We made 2 hours and 10 minutes. You lost power for like a flicker once.
Yeah, that was a big flicker.
That was a big flicker. Nick Chubb's a little long in the tooth and also kind of beat up at this point.
Yeah, and he's not as good of a zone runner. Like we're looking for zone runners here. That's why Algiers I really thought he'd be the perfect fit.
The Chargers love here at the end. Hey, for the record, the Chargers were my AFC West pick earlier.
Hey, way to hop in right when we're ending the pod.
Right at the very end. Right at the very end. That's all right. Well, that's it for this edition of the West Coast Draft Podcast. And closing thoughts, Mr. Jokinen.
If one of us back out of a deal, all of us back out of a deal. If one of us to click, all of us to click. If one of us subscribe, all of us subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Drive safe, folks.